Tonight on T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays, we have CEO and founder of White and Black Consulting, Miss Natasha Goodley. Guys, you are getting ready to hear all about the tea from Miss Natasha, and we'll be right back right after this.
White and Black Consulting, that's my business. So many people have asked, how did you come up with that name? I'm Natasha Goodley, and I'm an outside-of-the-box thinker. In addition to being a lawyer, entrepreneur, college professor, political strategist, and business coach. Now, back to the name. My mother's last name is White. My great-grandfather, Henry White, had 19 children from his 2 wives. Not at the same time, of course. Hester Davis and Eliza Griffin, in the small county of Marion, South Carolina. To honor that side of my family, I decided to include the name, and black is my favorite color. Since I'm an outside-of-the-box thinker, what better than to flip black and white and make it white and black? At White and Black Consulting, our team of professionals are here to help you and your business in every way to maximize your long-term success. It's not just about advice, it's about achieving results. Contact us at 813-847-8586.
It's so wonderful to actually put face to name, because we've been talking over the phone and you've been doing some great consulting with me, have me working to get my ducks in a row. But I'm so happy to have you on the show tonight to just really kind of delve into business ownership, entrepreneurship, and what we need to be looking out for as business owners. I know that statistics is showing that Black businesses, a lot of them fail within the first 12 months of even opening our doors, right? And we are still behind the 8 ball in terms of learning the ins and outs, the ebbs and the flows of business, entrepreneurship, business management. There's so many different elements that we have to capture as business owners, and not only just capture, but actually implement those strategies. So that's why I'm so happy to have you here tonight to kind of just, touch on some of the things that you feel like business owners should know, right now. Like what is it that we should be working on if we're already in business, or if we're going into business. But before we get to that, I would love for you to just share a little bit. I know we had a little bit of a teaser of your background and who you are, but I wanted to give you the floor and allow you to introduce yourself to the people, honey, because they want to know who you are.
Thank you so much. First, thank you for having me on your show. And I'm looking forward to be able to provide some insightful information for business owners. Mm-hmm. So as stated, I'm Natasha Goodley. I'm originally from South Carolina, born and raised. I went to the University of South Carolina, small town, Sumter, South Carolina. It's been in the news lately because it's also where John Morant is from. So we made some popularity there. We have more than 3,000 people, though, Lil Wayne. We have 3,000 people, okay? Small town. I went to the University of South Carolina, majored in political science, minored in criminal justice, and also it was an official minor, but African American studies. Okay. I graduated #1 in political science, and I went on to law school, which is what brought me to Florida, to Stetson University College of Law in Gulfport, Florida.
Yes.
So upon graduating, I worked in law, and then I segued into higher education. So I was over the satellite campus of Barry University here in Tampa.
Okay.
And I also taught college classes for 5.5 years. So I taught freshman and sophomore orientation, as well as all the legal studies classes. So it's an interesting thing because I was the youngest person over a college campus. When I was hired, I was 28.
What?
Yes. And I was the only Black person for quite some time over a campus. Yes.
That is amazing.
So I did that, as I said, for 5.5 years. And then I started a business while I was there. I started a property management business because out of law school, I was doing a lot with landlord tenant law on the side.
Mm.
So I
Mhm.
started that, and I decided I was going to take a leap and step out on my own. That was actually February 14th, 2014. I'll always remember because it's Valentine's Day. And I always say it's the day that I fell in love with myself.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Business. And I have been self-employed ever since.
Wow.
I purchased my house prior to doing it, but I've managed to keep my house being self-employed. I have purchased and paid for 3 cars during that time. I'm still here. I mean, I take trips. I do everything else, and it's all from off of my back. So I don't have that luxurious backup plan that some people have, or time off. I take time off for surgery. I have to plan how bills are going to be paid and what.
That part.
But I wouldn't trade it for anything. I could easily go back into the workforce, but I choose not to. And as a matter of fact, I am prepping for retirement. So
that's what I'm trying to say.
Retire by December, no later than December 31st, 2025.
What? Okay, that's like 2 years.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is the goal.
Amazing.
That is the goal.
I love it.
I got into business consulting because it was something that I always noticed when I would go to different businesses or interact with businesses. I always would say, like, oh, if you did this, this would make it flow better and it would work out better. And I didn't understand why I was getting all those insights, insightful things. And one day I went to an organization because I was like, hey, I could use a business coach. And when I sat down with the organization, they offered me an independent contractor position because she said, you ought to be teaching me about business. And so from there, I started helping their business owners, and it just continued to grow. And so, as you said, I am one that I don't sugarcoat it.
No,
I let you know what you need to do. And if you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. But I'm at this stage and point in life, you either want to succeed or you don't.
Or you don't. Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a friend, maybe if I catch you at the bar or something, we can be friends. But when I'm talking to you, I'm here to help you with your business. So I'm giving you insightful information to say, hey, this is what you need to do. And so I know a lot of stuff people may not like that I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it because I'm going to jump in right now. One of the biggest things I've noticed in the Tampa Bay area, because that's where we're located, is most of the business owners know their business and they know it well. So if you make pound cakes, you make the best pound cake.
Right.
A Caribbean restaurant, you have the best recipe, but they don't know business. And for that reason, it's not imperative to learn the business. Meaning, if you say you're going to be open 9 to 5, you're open 9
to 5. Yep.
If you're going to close early, you take all the precautions that you put it out there that we're closed during this time. If you use Google, update Google. Google is a wonderful free resource. So if you're going to be closed, let them know. So often we treat our businesses like side hustles.
Yep.
And when you treat it like a side hustle, your customers are going to treat you like a side hustle. So when you say, hey, this is $20, I'm gonna be like, 20? How about 8?
Yeah, it's up for negotiation.
Right. You want to know why you're haggling and why you feel like I'm in the wrong space. That's they're matching your energy. Your energy says this is nothing but a side hustle out of the trunk of my car, which means negotiated. Because you can't sell me, I don't care if it's Gucci. You can't sell me Gucci out of the trunk of your car.
Right.
Gucci out of the Gucci store. So if you treat it like that, I'm going to come back like that. I'm going to tell you what my dad always said. Don't ever ask my father, how much do you want to pay? Because he's going to say nothing and walk out. Feel like you
That's
learned,
good. I never even thought about that.
you learned a lesson today. Never ask somebody how much you want to pay for something yourself.
Yeah, I
So
love it.
we really have to get into that mindset. And typically when we are budgeting for business, we budget for everything but a coach, a consultant, an advisor. We don't put that in the budget. We
Got
don't,
it.
sometimes we don't even put in the budget someone to manage the finances. Because we say, oh, I'll do it. And every time someone says that, I always ask them, oh, so you're good with math. You like math. Oh, girl, I hate math. I can't stand math. I'm like, but you about to run the books of your business? No, ma'am. No,
We
sir.
be the what do you call it? How they call it the it's something about the master of none. The jack of all trades.
Right.
The jack of all trades, but the master of none. That's what we will do. And it's a mentality that's been developed over time. It's like not even really researching to find out, okay, if I need a consultant, how much is that? And we'll just assume that it's outside of our reach.
There are organizations that will provide you with some limited business coaching services. You just have to connect with these free organizations to get that. So it's worth it.
Wow. I agree.
The other thing I'd like to tap on is accessing capital. When you speak to business, especially Black and brown businesses, one of the biggest things we say is our biggest hurdle is accessing capital.
Yes.
And I will tell you, when I meet with most business owners, that is not their biggest problem.
Really?
They don't have the business structured properly. Even if someone dumped $1 million into it, it would not succeed because you don't have the processes in place to function. It's not money that's holding you back. That effort it's structuring it. It's knowing how you're going to proceed. Do you even have a good elevator pitch?
Wow.
I'm going to ask you, tell me about your business. And 15 minutes in, you're still talking. And I'm like tuned out, thinking about what I'm going to eat for lunch. I'm hungry. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
I could have been the person that said, you know what? God laid it on my heart to give somebody $10,000. But I never even got a chance to even know what you do because you can't articulate your business.
Wow.
The individuals who cannot articulate their business are also the individuals who have never sat down to do a business plan. No one likes doing business plans. I did that at law school on the side. I would do people's business plan for $250 back in the day.
Dang. And that's cheap now because
that was 2005 price.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if you never sit down to do a business plan, you have never researched your business. You don't even know who your target audience is. I know exactly, without even asking if you have a business plan. When I ask who your target audience is, if you ever say everyone, I already know you have never sat down and really thought about your business. Because there is nothing that you're selling that you're going to give to everyone. I used to say, unless you're selling air. But even if you sell air, there's somebody on an oxygen tank that don't need your air. So there is nothing.
Yes.
You're going to provide that everyone wants.
Love
and if you're providing a product to children, you want to market the children because you want them to want your product. Also have to market the parents because the kids don't have the money to buy it.
Right.
So you have to figure out a way to also market to them. So you have to sit down and figure this out. When you start your business, you should also be thinking of how you want to end your business. Am I starting this because I want to pass this down?
Right.
Am I starting it because I want to build it up and sell it? Or am I starting it because I just can't find a job and I just need something right now? But as soon as I get that job, this can go to the side. Like you have to know what your exit strategy is as soon as you come in. So if you haven't established this yet and you have a business, it's not too late. Sit down, start thinking about what's my end game? And if you're saying I'm doing this because I want to pass it down to my children. Let's be honest. Have those conversations with your children. Is this something you're going to do? Because some kids will tell you, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And you can try to push them all you want, saying, I'm building this.
Like,
That's not what they want. And they're not going to do it. So know what your end game is. Because if I'm building it to sell it, I'm not going to dump a bunch of money in this.
Right.
I'm not going to keep putting all this money. I'm just trying to get this to a good place where I get a good offer and jump ship. So you have to kind of have an idea.
I love it.
Working with a coach can help you with that, but also sitting down and creating your business plan will as well. It'll help you know who to market to, how to market, because who you think might want your product might not be the case. You can go in here and say, I'll give you an example, Sprite. Sprite now almost always markets to an urban market.
Wow.
When they started making Sprite, they were thinking, let's think about those people in urban communities. That was not the case. But it's like once they started doing polls and looking, they saw who was drinking.
Who was actually drinking it. Yeah.
So you know what? Let's ride this train. And that's who we're going to market. You don't
love
end up being in the blockbuster effect where you let technology and everything pass you by because you're like, nope, I started this video rental business for people to come pick up a VHS tape or a DVD, and that's what it's going to be till the day I die. And then you can find a blockbuster anywhere.
Right. So, no more.
Correct. So you want to think through how you're going to actually do this. You want to make certain that you are getting continuing education. In the legal field, CLEs, continuing legal education. Everyone calls them something different. You don't ever get to a point where you're done with learning.
That part.
Always.
Forever learner.
Right. You're learning about whatever your business is. If you're making pound cakes, you're learning about different ways to make pound cakes, different skills. But you're also learning about how to evolve with your business.
Exactly.
Because QuickBooks from 2000 is not QuickBooks of 2023.
Right.
Totally different. You're going to have anyone that will tell you QuickBooks is simple and it's so you don't have.
It is not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. You are going to have to spend plenty of time on QuickBooks. Like, how do I get this? I am always calling my people like, okay, where did you say I could get this report? How do I do this? It's not as user friendly. So you're going to have to spend time learning that. You're going to have to spend time investing in your business. And it's always hard when I talk to a business owner and they tell me when they don't have time to do. Sometimes it's real. You just don't have any more time. But you're going to have to either carve out time or you're going to have to learn to delegate or you're going to say, let's take a step back and look at this.
Reevaluate. Yeah. I know that was a conversation that we had when I was like, girl, I'm too busy. You like, okay, well, hold on. Let's evaluate.
Absolutely. Because
social media, you shave off here.
Social media is the biggest one. Everyone says, I don't have time for social media, but these are the same people that walk around with their phone 24/7. You are on social media, but you don't have time to be on social media for your business.
Gotcha. Yep.
You can be on social media for free, but you can't be on social media for money.
Wow.
Evaluate. And if it means you have to structure your day where you say 30 minutes, I'm on Facebook, 15, I'm on Instagram, I'm on this. You put the effort in to make that happen. Watch some videos, learn some tips and tricks and how to change things up. Don't just keep using the same hashtags on every post because those hashtags get old. Find some trending hashtags. The best posts are the ones that in the middle of all those hashtags, they have trending hashtags that have nothing to do with the actual post. So we know that Donald Trump was arrested. So that's trending now. So if you had a post about something in the middle of all those hashtags, you could be like Donald Trump because that's trending. So now that pop up.
I love it.
posts. So it's little
Mm-hmm.
tricks that you can do. That's why you don't want to always do like business owner, entrepreneur, black owned
Mm-hmm.
business. Damn, that's it. I'm good. You want to, add a little bit more to it.
Add some spice to it.
Add some spice to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hashtag them to death if you got to, but do something that's going to attract some different people to what you're doing.
Yeah. And I know those are like key tips that you've given me as well. So I know that those things actually work. I've actually been consistent with spending like at least 30 minutes on Facebook posting and doing at least 15 minutes on Instagram posting. And it's been successful. I've been watching it, people, coming in and following and liking and sharing the platform. So those things do actually work. I just want to say
Absolutely.
that they do actually work.
Absolutely. And they're free
Mhm.
resources. You have, for instance, Canva. You can download
Mhm.
Canva and create some flyers. Um,
Yeah.
these flyers are really nice digital flyers that you.
Mhm.
We're past the Microsoft Word art.
Yeah.
We're past, but you'll be
Ain't nobody
surprised
doing
how
that no
many people,
more.
no ma'am. You'll be surprised at how many people are still using Microsoft Word art. But you can do this for free. So if you don't know, you have to dive in and kind of
Mhm.
say, hey, I'm going to learn. That's the continuing education part.
I
I'm going
love
to learn how
it.
to do this because I can't afford to pay someone to do it.
Mhm.
Or maybe
Mhm.
you pay someone for 3 months so you see what they're doing. They can
And
show
then you
you.
learn from them, right?
Now I
Yeah.
can keep this up. I can move this forward on
Mhm.
my own.
Mhm.
However, whatever works for you, but you're going to have to invest into it because social media is free. It's free.
I love it.
It's free.
Listen, so when we talk about, I just want to go back to, so say for instance, you have an individual, like for instance, my Cameo guest, where she just started her business, Mitchum Services, right? The idea is to be able to hand her business down to her grandchild. So her grandbaby is only one. So it's not like she can go to her and say, hey, boop, are you interested, in taking over grandma's business when you get older? We don't know if that's something that she's going to want to do yet, right? So what kind of ways can a person, because one of the things that I know that we've seen a lot of in the Black community is that you have a successful Black business, very successful business in the during the time that the visionary started the business, right? It made the family money, but then you don't have children who are willing to carry on that legacy. They are just like, okay, well, this business is done, you've passed away, and the business just kind of goes to nothing. And so then that leaves, it doesn't just affect the family, but it also is a huge part of the community that's being taken away. So if you have a business owner that says, you know what, I really want to be able to give back, I want to be able to start this business, but at the end of the day, because I poured so much of my blood, sweat, and tears into it, I don't just want to see at the end when I pass away, my business goes away too. So, what suggestions do you have for people who are starting business? And when you say think about not just the start of the business, but where do you want it to end? Like, where do you want it? What's the end game? What do you say to those individuals who might not have children that are willing to or interested in baking a pound cake? If my business is pound cakes, I might not be interested. Their children might not be interested in baking pound cakes yet.
What I would say is that's why you want to put that business plan together. Because
Mm,
if you determine down the road that this is not something my kids are going to do, this
mm-hmm,
is not something that my children are interested in, then your business plan is fluid. It's ever changing. You can go in and tweak it a little bit and say, hey, you know what? I would like to see my business still survive. So maybe
mm,
I need to start looking for the right owner come
mm,
in and purchase this and will continue the legacy that I put in place since my
mm,
children don't want to continue this legacy. And so you could do it that way.
mm.
As a matter of fact, in Tampa, Mel's Hot Dogs is for sale. And he wants someone that's going to continue the legacy that he established. He doesn't
Wow.
want to just give it to someone and they say, you know what, this is prime real estate. I ain't
Mhm.
gonna make a hair salon. He wants to
Right.
go in and continue the legacy of his hot dogs. So you can do that and look for the perfect person to do it. Because a lot of times
Mhm.
the children don't want to be involved because you didn't involve the children in the business in the beginning.
Mm.
Be honest. You started
That's
this, you're
good.
working because you're like, hey, I want my kids to have a better life. I don't
Mhm.
want my kids in here sweeping the floor and cooking pound cakes and getting up early in the morning and staying late at night. This is to help elevate us to the next level. Well,
Right.
you elevated your kids so well that they're like,
This
I want to do that.
yeah.
So now you have this business that they're like, I don't want no parts of this because I've never had any
That
parts
is
of it.
so true.
So
That's very true.
think about back in the day with businesses. The kids were involved.
Yeah.
The
Whether
kids were
you want it to be or not.
You didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
have a lot of choices now.
I
People
love
give their children lots of choices. So
And
you didn't have that.
yeah, and it's so interesting that you say that too. And that's something that we don't really think about because we are always interested in giving our children the things that we never had. And so we have a perception of what that looks like, right? A lot of us haven't really had an opportunity to speak with wealthy people who pass down their family businesses from generation to generation. And one of the things that I really love was I back in the day I used to watch Bachelor. This is when it first came out. And one of the Firestone tires, y'all know Firestone tires, I'm sure everybody knows them. One of the children from Firestone was actually a bachelor. And he was talking about how when he was a kid, he had to work and he didn't get to go in and work at the top level. He was like, I was an actual mail person. I worked in the mail room and kind of worked my way up from there. You know what I'm saying? And now he's at the executive level, but there's a level of appreciation and humility that he has because of where he had to start from. And so now it's like an honor and a privilege to carry the Firestone name and to be passing that down as a legacy to the next generation. So that just made me think about what you were saying. And also Tamara's husband, Tamara Moray, her husband, he comes from a family with, wine vineyards up in Napa Valley. And, they've had generations of just all of them working in that particular field. And so it says a lot when you have something to hand down, but it also says even more when you make sure that every person is invested and they understand, like, without this business, our family can't. We aren't who you we can't be what we are. You can't enjoy the luxuries in life that you're enjoying except that we all play a part in this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you look at some of our counterparts, just as you mentioned, they're working in the business. Now they might start in the mailroom, but they might still be making six figures. But
Mm-hmm.
they're in the mailroom.
Right.
They're
Right.
learning. They understand the process because they know this is going to be my company one day that I'm going to take over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to do the same thing. Don't be afraid to put your kids in the business. Don't be afraid to have your kids work.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid for them to see
I love
all
that.
aspects of the business.
I
Because
love
if
it.
the only thing you show them is the paycheck, that's all they're going to want is the
Yeah.
paycheck.
Yeah.
They're not
Exactly.
want to continue anything else because I've never had to work in this business. So
Mm-hmm.
now when you pass on, you think I'm going to now work, I'm going to sell it. And I'm going to
And
get the
all your hard work going to the trash, child, because they just gonna sell it to the highest bidder.
correct. And they're going
Mm-hmm.
to take the check. So if
Yeah.
that's something you're interested in, start incorporating them early. Let
Got
them
it.
see all sides of it. Because I went to law school. And so there were quite a bit of people who their parents were lawyers. And so they already knew, hey, I'm doing this, but I got a job when I get out of here. My grandfather was an attorney.
Oh, yeah.
Who was an attorney. I'm going to be an
Mhm.
attorney. So that was already ingrained in them along the way. They already
Yeah.
knew what their path was going to be. So this is what
Mm.
you're looking to do for your children. Make certain that the path is laid there. But again, also understand that they still may say, I don't want to do it.
And there you have it, people. This is a good place to go ahead and take our little break, because when we come back, we're going to talk about some hot topic things that's going on in the business world. And then I'm going to give Natasha an opportunity to kind of share any information that she didn't get to share before. I hope that you all are enjoying this. This is good tea. It is very good tea, very insightful. She's giving y'all, I hope y'all taking notes too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, like, she's telling you based upon her experience and working with business owners, what are the major issues that we should get together right now. And so with that being said, we will be right back right after this.
It's a For Us By Us extravaganza in celebration and support of Black brands and Black business excellence. Ignite Youth Incorporated presents to you Harlem Nights with a modern twist 2023 extravaganza. October 13th through the 15th, 2023. Business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives. Join us for an exclusive B2B networking brunch. Families, enjoy our kids zone, shop Black business vendors, and eat from the best food trucks at our vendor festival. Grown folk, come party with us as we dance the night away. Check out our Harlem Nights fashion show, designed by fashion designers from all around the country. Enjoy casino games, signature cocktails, good eats, and our award ceremony at our cocktail reception. Harlem Nights 2023 extravaganza will be an event you don't want to miss. Harlem Nights with a modern twist 2023 extravaganza. October 13th through 15th, 2023 in lovely downtown St. Petersburg, Florida. We'll see you there. To learn more, pre-register for tickets or as a vendor, visit www.harlemnightsextravaganza.com.
All right. Welcome back to T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays, guys. If you missed it, we had some amazing guests on this tonight's episode, which is a special edition. We will be going back live for a few months on July 11, 2023 at 7:30 on Tuesday. That's why it's called T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays. Tonight, we have our expert advisor who is given, like, she really spilling the tea, honey. Like, if you are even thinking about going into business, this is the information that you want to have, that you don't have to go and research and pull up for yourself. She's giving you the tea. She's giving you all of what are the important points and areas where we oftentimes as business owners, we miss it. And so a lot of people, who are nervous about starting businesses or who already have a business, but they're not seeing the results that they want to see in the dollar category. Maybe there aren't enough zeros there and we need to add some zeros. She's given us the strategies and tools to increase those zeros in that dollar number. Okay. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of share if there's any other things that you feel like as business owners we need to be focusing on, in terms of what are some falsities that we kind of, take in and we buy as our own. Like you said, for Black people, one of the major things was having access to capital. And that was like, no, that's not one of the biggest issues, right? So I wanted to give you an opportunity to do that. And then I wanted to also review some hot topics as it pertains to technology and AI. So are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm going to jump in.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the accessing capital, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned before, it's if you don't have your business structured properly, the capital is not going to help. You need to be certain that you are prepared even for capital. And I can say during the pandemic showed us a lot. And one of the biggest things it showed us was how many of our businesses didn't have their stuff together.
And we missed out on that money.
Absolutely. There was free money available and so many people could not access it because they weren't structuring their business properly. I'm not a tax accountant. I don't do taxes. However, if you have a business that you're making $120,000, but you're reporting to the IRS that you make 10 every year, that's a problem. Because at $10,000 a year in your business, you're not able to do anything. You're not able to take a business loan. You're not able, no one's going to give you anything because you're not even making $1,000 a month in your business,
Mm-hmm.
you feel like, hey, I'm winning because I didn't pay those taxes, but you've put your business in a place that you crippled it. It's not going to grow. I'm not saying you've got to always report every penny, but you've got to think beyond the now. So if you want to purchase a home down the road, you can't purchase a home making $10,000 a year.
Very true.
If you're wanting to expand your business, you're probably going to struggle with that, making $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
So you want to make certain that your books are good, they're legit, and you are thinking about the future in your business. You've always have to think about the future. And I will say this with business credit. This is a huge falsity that you hear, is that people say, I'm going to start a business and then I'm going to use my business credit to buy everything and I don't have to touch my personal credit. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to establish your business so well before a bank will only look at your business credit.
Wow.
I have really good business credit, really good. You can go to Dun & Bradstreet, pull it up. I can't walk into any bank and say, I would like to take out even $1,000 loan and only use my business.
Wow.
Right? Absolutely not. I am going to have to guarantee that loan personally. So everyone who thinks I can let my personal credit remain bad and on this business credit, it's not going to happen.
Gotcha.
I have one business owner that I know that totally utilizes their business credit and only their business credit, and they are a multi-million-dollar business.
Wow.
Everyone else has to personally guarantee the loans as well.
Wow.
It is important to fix your credit just as well as you're building your business credit. And there are tips
good.
and things to do to fix your credit. And if you have to do it over time, then you do it over time. But you're going to have to do both. You're not going to have, there's no easy trick out of it. Everybody knows you can quit and start an LLC for $125. You got $100 in loans and then say, I'm done with this business. Because for me, I mean, let's be real, that's not happening. So you have to fix your credit. You have to focus on getting that together. I will say with the systemic and structural barriers that Black and brown businesses face, it's real. It's absolutely real. You're going to have to identify those things and you're going to have to dismantle them.
Wow.
I do business consulting, but my business also does political consulting. And I also have a management firm.
Okay.
In the political consulting, as I mentioned, I graduated #1 from the University of South Carolina in political science. I have been working in politics for a very long time. I've worked on campaigns all the way from presidential campaigns all the way down to local campaigns.
Wow.
I had positions that were statewide during political campaigns. Yet and still, I have businesses that would be comparable to mine, where the individuals who own those businesses have only volunteered on campaigns. But because they're not Black or brown, they're able to go places that my business is not able to go.
Right.
My suggestion is when you see that, call it out. Call it
Love
out.
it.
I mean, you want to say, well, I don't know. I don't want to necessarily speak on it because it might not get me the business. It's not getting you the business anyway.
Right. Yeah.
I call it out.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to someone running for office and they want to talk about how they're going to be so helpful and advantageous to the Black and brown community, and they're going to give us so many opportunities. One question I come back to them and I ask them, because when you're running a campaign, you are the president and CEO of your campaign.
Right.
How many paid Black and brown people are on your campaign right now?
Show me the fruit, honey.
It's always like, but I got volunteers. So you are in a position.
We want you to pay checks.
You're in a position now to hire Black and brown people, and you chose not to.
Wow.
But you believe that if I vote for you, you will then hire Black and brown people. Come on, we know better. Call it out. So
Yeah.
call it out every step of the way. And then you figure out ways, how can I overcome this? How can I get around this? How can I, compete?
Wow.
And that's what you're going to have to work on. That's where your business plan comes into play, because part of your business plan is identifying your competition. So if you've identified your competition and you see what they're doing and you see what they have versus what you have something that you can, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to try doing this. But you have to identify it, and then you have to work to dismantle it. You have to.
Wow.
For location and infrastructure, that's a big thing. Know where the best places are to start your business. What's a good place to open your business? Understand.
I love that tea you gave me about that, because I didn't even think about. I was actually driving down the road. I'm gonna let her tell y'all what she finish it up, but I know exactly where she's going because we had this conversation. But I was actually driving from Newport Richey. They have like in Trinity and like that area, they're building up over there, and so they have industrial spaces for rent. And I was like, see, somebody like that don't really know the tea that you're getting ready to get, and be like, oh, I need to see if I can get one of them spaces.
Absolutely. Because we see these nice, beautiful areas, and we're like, oh, New Tampa, Trinity, Wesley Chapel. I want to be in this spot because that's where the money is. That's what we tell ourselves. That's where the money is. And you get your space and you open there, and then I'm going to hit you with 3 words: targeted, idle, advance. Because all y'all remember that.
We missed it.
That was the free money. And so many people couldn't
access on that money,
as you had to be in a low income census.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Access those funds. And so those low income census tracts can also be opportunity zones, CRA. Any of those things all are all fit the profile. So if you're located in any of those, you were able to access the free $10,000. But so many people couldn't because their business weren't located there. And you think, well, I don't want to put my business in a place like that because then I won't make business. I won't have customers. I won't have people coming into my place. Who says you won't?
Exactly.
Who says, I don't know about you, but I travel for the places that I go. I don't know about you, but I don't have a mall in my backyard. I got to get in the car and ride all the way to International Plaza. So I travel to. I don't have Walmart across the street.
Right.
I got to get my car and drive all the way to Walmart. When I want good food, I know the places that I like to eat at, and I get in the car and I drive to them. So I don't now think that I have to be in a walking distance of individuals. If you live in Wesley Chapel, you got to drive to Tampa. You always drive to Tampa.
Yeah.
You might not drive to Tampa to go to the grocery store, but you're always coming to Tampa.
Yeah.
If you lived in St. Pete up until maybe a few years ago, you were always driving to Tampa.
Yeah.
I used to live in St. Pete. That's the culture.
Yeah.
Think that no one's going to drive to come to your business. If you have a good business, people are going to support it.
They're going to come. I know of a restaurant that sells like the fufu. And everybody, they come from all over, Brandon, Riverview, Sarasota. Like they drive from all over for that food because they know it's good, number one. And number two, because they've heard the hype on social media. And so they want to be the ones to try it. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. We will, if we want something, we're going to get it.
How far do you travel to get your hair braided? How far do you travel to go to the doctor? How far do you travel to get your nails done? Let's be honest. People travel. I mean, you may not travel 30 minutes, but people will travel to you if you have it. But being,
and I know I do. I travel mine like for over 45 minutes.
There you go. There you go. Being in the right location means that you can now access capital. It's going to be that much easier for you to access capital. You'll have programs available to assist.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper.
Wow.
You think you could open in Trinity cheaper than you could open in East Tampa?
No, ma'am.
Absolutely. Absolutely not. So just consider those things. I'm not saying it works for every single business, but it's something to consider for your business. And again, that goes back to your business plan, because if you're sitting down and doing the research, that's where you're going to be going, with what I'm looking to do, this makes sense if I were here versus if I were there.
Yeah.
And being in the area doesn't mean you're in a crime-ridden area. You're in an area where everyone's poor. No one can afford your items. I'm just going to tell you, it is more expensive now to live in the city of Tampa than it is to live in the suburbs. Houses cost more in East Tampa than they're costing in Riverview.
I can believe that.
I'm hearing so many people say, I want to get a house, but I can't afford to be in the city because I still can go to Riverview and buy something for $300.
Wow.
I get your crack house in East Tampa. And I'm being honest, the prices, everything has
it's gone up. Yeah. Home ownership is almost out of the reach of ordinary people unless you're willing to move into the suburbs.
So don't think that if I'm going here, there are people that don't have money. It means absolutely nothing. I live in East Tampa. East Tampa. My house is worth $500,000.
Wow. There you have it.
And all the houses on the market right now, $500,000.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, it doesn't mean that there's no money. And there's plenty of people here that make six figures.
Right.
Plenty. And just because a person's on public assistance doesn't mean they don't have money to buy your products.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
That's right.
Let's be honest.
That's that $1.6 trillion we talking about now. Everybody that's spending that 1.6 is not all millionaires. Not, you know what I mean? So
let's think about it. I mean, people who are multimillionaires, most of them don't spend money that freely.
Yeah, they don't. They're very, very strategic about and very frugal.
But broke people will spend it real quick.
Yes, we will.
We will spend it real quick.
That is so true.
So maybe your business needs to be in the place where they're going to spend it real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Money then. So put all that into your business plan and into the thought. And then balancing your business and personal commitments. The biggest thing for me is running your business like a business. Just, on social media, Tampa was a buzz because we had a visitor into Tampa called the Hungry Black Man.
I know him on social media. Yes.
And he came in and he said some things and it ruffled some of our Tampanian feathers.
It was true, I'm sure.
You don't want to admit
he gonna tell the truth.
It was true.
Yeah, he gonna tell the truth.
A lot of it was true. So you have to balance business and your personal life.
Yeah.
You've got to always operate like you're running a Forbes top 100.
Fortune 500. Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Even if you're operating out of your garage.
Right.
Tendency to think if I'm operating out of my garage, then I can do it. I can do it different. I can kind of do it how I want. Like I said, the side hustle.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Operate your business correct.
Yeah.
Run your hours. If you know I can't be open 7 days a week, then don't be open 7 days a week.
Exactly.
But don't advertise that I'm open 7 days a week and then just be like, girl, I don't feel like going in there today. And then you don't go in. Because I personally have driven to places that Google said is open.
And they be closed.
And they're good and closed. Some of them don't even have a note on the door. Anything.
Wait a minute. Or you this is one of the reasons why I stopped going to hair salons. I promise you. This is the reason why I stopped going to hair salons, because your appointment at 8:00 in the morning and the beautician not showing up until 9:30. And you like, hold on, who do that? Where they do that at? And then they beat you getting an attitude.
Correct. Operate your business how you would want to be treated in the business. Fit your personal life there. If you know that every year for 2 weeks, I take my kids on vacation and we are closed during this time, then you make certain it's signs are up. Everyone knows the place is closed during these 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And it doesn't change. This is
Yeah.
what it is. So that your customers know. Because it only takes a time or two that I've tried to come to your place and you're closed for no reason, or you got a note on the door that's like, went to my kid's graduation. Of course, I expect you to do that, but
let people know in advance.
Right. Or have someone else here working.
Yeah.
Have someone else here so that you can keep making money. You have the ability to make passive income once you have a brick and mortar business. So you need to think about, what do I need to put in place so that this can still work for me?
Exactly. Gotcha.
But please balance your life, your personal life, and your business life. I'm from South Carolina, as I mentioned, and there are several businesses that are only open Thursday through Sunday.
And it's a lot of them in the hood like that, because they know, okay, I know I'm not going to make no business on Monday. No, I'm not going to make a whole lot of money on Tuesday. So they open up the weekend, like Thursday. They know people getting paid, they're going to. So yeah, that's very true.
So if you're like, I just still got to have a life. I want to be in my kid's life. I want to do things. Then maybe that's what you need to do and structure it that way. But don't sit here and say I'm open when you're not, or come up with your own hours, or come up with different rules. Like I called one place, I'm not gonna say the name, but I called this place, asked them if they had a particular dish, if they still had some available as a restaurant. They told me yes. I said, I have 6 people coming right now, and that's what they want to get. And it was the most expensive dinner plate on their menu. I think it was about $25 each. So I said, okay, we're on the way. We get there and they're like, oh, you can't sit in the restaurant because we don't sit people an hour to close. What? We all get the plate. I talked to you on the phone. Well, you didn't mention that you were going to eat in. Well, you don't think that was something that needs to be posted?
That should have been something that you said. Yes, ma'am, we do have it, but I do have to let you know that we don't seat people an hour before we close, within an hour of closing.
Yeah.
Like, how hard was that?
So you allow the 6
that money walk away,
and it's food. So I mean, you might save it and say we're gonna serve it tomorrow. But how much better would it have been to get rid of it and make something fresh?
Exactly.
For your business. And
exactly.
It was oxtail, so it's not something that you know what I mean. You got to make you want to keep it fresh and all that. Right. But it's things like that. And so my friends, when I mentioned to them again, like, hey, y'all want to go back? Nope. None of them wanted to go back. They're like, nope, we might get there and they're closed and they might do this and they might do that. Couldn't get anyone to go back. You don't understand. People, especially nowadays, how expensive things are. People are willing to give you 10 chances.
Yeah, exactly.
For many people to play with my money. I'm out the door. You don't have to worry about me coming back.
Exactly, because the next time I want them oxtails, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the meat store and cook them up myself. And and then I have some left over for tomorrow. So yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I do believe that that's like the foundational stuff that need to be taught. That's the 411, because it's one thing to have a passion and a love for something. You could be great at it. You could have the best oxtails out there. But if your approach and your customer service is not on point, and if you, like you said, I came to your restaurant and you turned me away at the door, even though I called you and asked you if you still had this, and you failed to tell me that y'all weren't going to seat me, it's a wrap for me. I don't care. They can be finger licking good, but it's a wrap.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we've got to be more intentional about being in business. For many people, being in business is sexy.
Yeah.
I'm a business owner. People always want to.
Yeah.
I got my own business. I have a business. I'm a business owner. There's nothing sexy about owning a business. I can't tell you how many nights I cried all night long. I can tell you how many times I sat in my home wondering if Tico was going to cut them lights off when they were building.
Come on.
I'm in East Tampa when they were building the Selman connector. Power would cut off every day at a certain time, and I'd have to run to my door and look out at the neighbors like, is everybody else lights off too?
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I actually went 6 months without going to a grocery store.
Wow.
I'm from South Carolina. I'm from the country. I got a deep freezer. That's what we call the chest freezers.
Okay.
And it was filled with food. And I ate. Listen, friends were like, "Are you eating that frostbitten chicken?" Yes, I'm gonna cut the piece off and I'm gonna cook it. What do you?
Listen, girl, give me these black eyed peas out of here real quick.
Absolutely. I ate out of my freezer. For 6 months.
Yes.
I did
Yes.
not go to the grocery store because the hustle is real.
Yeah, it is.
I did
It
not
is.
walk into a mall. I did not buy clothing. My friends will tell you, I go with them and just be like a little kid holding their hand
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not about to touch nothing, because I'm not about to buy nothing. I don't have no money for this.
It's not the season for that.
It's not sexy.
Yeah.
It's not sexy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're thinking it puts you in a better light, makes you look good, I can put this little blazer on and ooh, girl, no, this is not for you. Stay at your 9 to 5.
Exactly. With your guaranteed paycheck, or
Correct.
what we think guaranteed paycheck at the end.
And your benefits and all stay right there. But if you got the grind and hustle in you and you're like, listen, this is something I want, I'm willing to sacrifice.
Hard work.
I thought many times, maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe I shouldn't have left the university. Maybe I should have stayed there and continued to grow and well, you know, for many positions, you have that little glass ceiling over your head. I started with the ceiling at my head. So there was no further advanced
elevation
at that point. So you got to really think about it. Get in business, something you really want and you believe in it.
I love the fact that you bringing it like the good, the bad, the ugly, because oftentimes when you look on social media and you're comparing yourself to other people, you looking at the glamorous part, but very few people who make it seem like they're successful and they killing it are telling you that they borrowed that car, they filming out of a model home. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't tell you the real truth behind business ownership and the hardship that comes along with it.
Absolutely. And I speak on the hardships. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but
it's reality.
Yeah. This is what it looks like. And if that's not something that you feel like you're in a position to do, then you might have to tread a little lightly with starting the business. Maybe you just need a side hustle.
Yeah. Until you can grow it to full time. Yeah.
There's going to be plenty of times when you are going to second guess yourself and say, I made the wrong decision because this is not working.
I love it.
Just as you said, social media will show you all the glitz and glam.
Yeah.
I was on a panel of entrepreneurs one time and everyone was talking about how long it took them to make their first million and when they bought their first foreign car and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to tell you how many times you're probably going to be laying on your kitchen floor crying. I'm going to be real.
And that's the truth.
The glam is great.
Yeah.
But let's be real. So you've got to really want it and push for it and fight for it, just like anything else in life. And don't get caught up on the people who only post the positive on social media.
Yeah.
Social media. That's what they're going to do. They're going to post all the great trips and everything else that they do. But many times we forget to post, you know, dang, man, let me tell you what I just went through. I just did this. I don't have no food. I had a friend that had to take me to the grocery store and trick me. Was like, oh, don't you like this? Yeah, I do. Put it in the buggy and bought groceries.
Girl, the struggle is real, honey. The struggle is real.
Get cut off every single until I can scramble and get that $50. I was doing side job. I was doing contracts for people for $25.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, the struggle's real. So if you got that hustle in you, you will get there. You will get there. You will get there.
I love it. Listen, y'all, we didn't get a chance to get to the hot topics, but I feel like the content that was covered tonight was so essential and necessary, right? It kills all of the stereotypes. I don't know how many people we've seen. It just seems, you know, it make it seem like it's so easy to do this. It's really not. And so to have somebody to kind of share with, it's rewarding though. It is so rewarding when you actually put your hands to something and you're doing all of the hard work. You're, like she said, missing the meals, not able to do certain things, trying to figure out, okay, is my lights going to be on tomorrow? Because you believe in your vision, you're investing in your vision so much that when you finally see that thing take off, you know that this was a work of your hands. Like, it gives you pride. It makes you proud, right? And so I appreciate that. I told y'all, Natasha gonna give it to you straight, period. She ain't gonna play with it. She's just gonna be real. And I love that, because I think that's what people need to hear. It's like, no, we don't want to discourage you. We're encouraging Black people to start businesses. But if you're going to start your business, we want you to be prepared. Like, you're not walking into that thinking, okay, it's gonna be X, Y, Z, it's gonna be a cakewalk. No, these are the things that you're going to face. However, when you establish it on the right foundation, you can continue to build on that foundation, and you know that the end product is going to be amazing because you've done all of the necessary work. So with that being said, Natasha, can you please let everybody know where they can find you? These are the consultation services that y'all want. So before you discount and say, well, I can't afford her service, reach out to her and see, how can you go about getting her service? How can you go about setting your consultation up so that she can give you the steps and the tools that you need to push your vision forward, and to make sure that if you haven't started your business, that you start on the right footing. If you have started your business, that you can go back and rebuild.
That's I got my mug.
Yes, honey. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I brought my mug.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. Can you let them know where to find you? She's on social media and she has her website, but I'm gonna let her share that with everyone. Make sure you follow up with her.
So I do have a website, White and Black Consulting. It is www.white and spelled out blackconsulting.com. I'm on social media, White and Black Consulting, on Facebook, as well as Instagram and LinkedIn. And our phone number is 813-847-8586. You can call or text that number. Wow. Consultations are free. Everything is a la carte. I don't believe in charging anyone for anything that they don't need. So I'm going to listen to your story first, and then from there, determine what you need. Most people call and say, I need everything. You can't afford everything. So let's talk about where you're at. Then we can
start somewhere, right?
And say, well, you know what? You really don't need someone to answer your phone. You can do that yourself. You just want someone to answer your phone. So let's separate the needs and the wants and figure out exactly what you need. And then from there, I can let you know what that cost will be.
Okay.
And it's not something that necessarily has to last forever, because if I'm still here trying to guide you on how to structure and get your business together in 2 years, I'm not doing my job.
Right.
Get this together, figure this out, and you're on your own. Right. Now I go to your business and I'm like, oh, wow, look at the fruits of my labor. This is awesome. So it's not something that you're going to have to do forever. So again, 813-847-8586. Call or text that number. Again, consultations are free. See how we can help you.
See, now don't discount yourself. You got to do it. If your business is important to you, invest in it. And I definitely will tell you that it will not be a mistake. It will be probably one of the best things that you've done so far. Natasha, I'm gonna have you back on. I mean, the tea that you spilled in these streets, honey, was just tantalizing, effervescent acumen. And I want to say thank you so much for joining me this evening and for just being so transparent. I love it. We have our little monthly meetings. So I'll be ready for you at our next endeavor. But for sure, I definitely want to have you back, and we'll get a chance to really tackle some of these hot topics. But for real, y'all. She gave a lot of information. So luckily this show is we're airing it live right now, but you'll be able to go back and watch it. I know that this was a long episode. It was like 2 hours long, but we'll chop it up and y'all will be able to look at it in segments. Go back and just take notes. This is good information. And if you're a business owner, whether you're black, white, brown, purple, or orange, it's all applicable across the board, right? And so I just want to say again, thank you so much, Natasha, for joining me this evening. I cannot wait to get your feedback about the show, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Yes, honey, White and Black Consulting with CEO and founder, Miss Natasha Goodley.